So, hello, we're Artist Led St Helens, and I'm Claire Wheatman, and this is G Collins. And we are going to share some of the information that we shared at our launch event for the Free Art School, which took place on the 27th of August last week. And we wanted to make a video so that if you want to find out a bit more than you can read on a document, then that might help a little bit. So we'll run through the different bits of the programme that we're going to offer throughout the autumn and into the new year as well. Tell you a little bit about those and some of the thinking behind the Free Art School. So the first thing we want to share is that we're going to be continuing some of our work that we did earlier this year in creating an equipment library in partnership with St Helens Libraries. So last year we researched with artists in St Helens to find out what equipment would be really useful for a collective resource. And what we're going to do is make some of that available in the space at Haydock Street in St Helens for people to come and use and try out. And for that, we want to recruit some creative space hosts. So we're looking for 4 artists who can come and be in that space 1 day a week for 4 weeks and can essentially make their own work with some of the pieces of equipment that are available, and also make that space available for other artists as well. So there's a call out for artists to apply for that. There's a fee of £1,000 for the 4 days, and the deadline to apply for that is the 10th of September. And then we'll be hoping that that makes that space available with the equipment for artists to come and make use of from the end of September, early October, all the way through to December as well.
And then next on the list is the Reviewers Collective, which we're kind of calling school trips. So something that we really want to encourage is for St Helens artists and art interested people and creative people and people who are just interested in art to be talking about what's going on in St Helens, for us to be shouting about our own stuff and each other's stuff, but also talking about stuff that we've been to, sharing that information with each other, and maybe talking a bit about events that we've been to that we don't like, that we could do better, and learning from each other and sharing that information around. So we're launching a Reviewers Collective, but also a kind of peer support group to talk and meet monthly and chat about kind of different things we've been to, and also maybe what it's like being a creative, a point to meet together and support each other. And we've got a few paid opportunities through that to enable people to go and visit events and maybe make a creative response to them. So that might be a piece of writing, but it also might be a film or a drawing or whatever it is that you do to share information about events. And we've also got some support on hand to think about maybe publishing those things either on our wiki or in different partners. But if you want to find out more about that, or if that's something that you're interested in, we've got the next meeting coming up really soon, and that'll be posted on Instagram and on our WhatsApp and Eventbrite, which will be an online hour-ish long meeting on Zoom, where we'll meet each month following that.
Then we've got another session of unfinished projects that we're planning on hosting at the space. So earlier this year, Cameron Jones, who is a St Helens based creative filmmaker, comedian, he hosted a series of 6 weeks, 2-hour sessions in the evening. So we're kind of thinking this is a bit like your after school homework club. Cameron's thought is that we've all got sketchbooks, notebooks, he's got hard drives of film footage, projects that we've started, ideas that are sort of just about there that we haven't finished, and sometimes we just need time and encouragement to crack on with them and to get them done. So unfinished projects is a space, because sometimes we need space. It's some time, because sometimes we need time, and it's encouragement from others to come and do that. So we haven't planned the exact dates for that, but we're hoping that that will start in October for a run of 6 weeks, and then there'll also be monthly meetings in from January to March as well, that you can come and get encouragement to just keep on making that artwork that is sometimes hard to concentrate on when you're creative.
And then the following one, a little bit different, but also quite similar, of kind of a co-work space. So we'll, throughout September, we're open on Mondays at Haydock Street. So this is less of getting your project finished over 6 weeks, but perhaps you just need some space outside the house to come and work on something. In St Helens, maybe you want to meet other people, but maybe you want to get your head down and get on with something. So we're open throughout September on Mondays from about 10-ish till maybe around 4, and we'll have an Eventbrite up soon where people can kind of sign up to those or find more of the specific information. And from October we might change those days from Monday, but we're just hoping to keep the space at Haydock Street open 1 day a week at least, for people to come and join in, take up some space, work on something too messy for the kitchen table, and maybe work alongside other people too.
Then we were part of a survey recently with St Helens Arts in Libraries and a number of other partners, asking artists, creatives, what sort of things that they'd like to develop in their work. And also through our research and our projects that we were doing early in the year, and also the work we've done as part of Artists Together over the last few years as well. We know that there are certain specific things that artists want support and guidance with. So we'll be running and planning a number of those sessions throughout the autumn. So those might be maybe 2-hour, maybe half-day sort of sessions, which will be on specific topics such as funding, maybe promotion. We asked at the launch as well different things that people wanted to learn about, and we've got a lot of that information that people have sent back in the survey as well. So we'll be putting that programme together. Some of that will be delivered by myself and G. Some of it will also be based on the toolkit that we put together as well. So if you haven't seen that toolkit, that's available on some of our links. So that's a resource that has loads of sort of how-to guides, different guidance in there about putting on events, running workshops, evaluation, networks, all those kinds of things. So we'll be using that as a starting point, and then building more resources onto that, and trying to find ways to deliver that works for artists as well, because sometimes we have access to more generic training courses. So we're trying to work out how to make that work for artists. So if you're interested in that and there's something you specifically want to learn, let us know so that we can actually plan it, and we can make it so that at a time that you can come. But yeah, so that program is getting finalised and getting made, and will be coming up soon.
And the next one is our Putting Stuff On programme, or thinking about a Christmas celebration type thing. So we're recruiting for a trainee producer role at the moment. So someone who is interested in putting something on, and maybe interested in helping other people put something on as well. And this is we expect that programme to start around September, October. So if you're someone who is interested in maybe putting on events, maybe you've put some similar events on before, maybe you've done something creative, but maybe you'd also like a bit more support, or to do that as part of a larger programme, then get in touch, apply for that. The deadline to apply for that is the 10th of September as well. And then maybe you're someone that would like to get involved in that. Maybe you're an artist who would like to be facilitated to get involved in something around Christmas time, and maybe those are kind of your skills. So this could be anything really, ranging from performance to the trade fair to the whatever it is. If you've got an idea of something that you'd like to happen in St Helens, get in touch and apply for that role.
And yeah, and we're thinking that as well, thinking about trying to make all of these activities tie up with the school year, so that that one we're thinking is like the school PTA getting together, and they're going to put on all of those Christmas events. They're going to put on the Christmas fair or the Christmas play, those sort of things that show what the people in the school can do, and brings everybody together and celebrates all of that creativity. So that should be a really exciting program for somebody to lead and to learn on, and then also for people to be part of, as G said. The next one that we'll be hosting in the new year is, as part of the equipment library, we recognise that some people might want to try something but don't know where to start. So there will be some very specific sort of workshops that will be led by specialists in certain items of the equipment. So they'll be hosted from January, and we'll be looking for specialists to lead some of those. So that might be somebody who knows how to use the podcast equipment, who can then guide people through how to make podcasts with that equipment, or somebody who knows how to set up a photography studio and can guide people through the use of that. There's a whole list of equipment in the equipment library, which is in our equipment library report, and also you'll find it in the creating space call out. And that's, there's we want to get that equipment library out and available for people to use, but also we want to make sure that people can know how to use that equipment as well. Shall I do the one-to-one sessions as well, because that's me? So we've throughout the past few years, as part of the Artists Together programme, we've offered one-to-one mentoring sessions. So they're normally a 30-minute session that people can book to come and sit down, normally with just me, but sometimes as well we've invited guests from organisations around the Northwest region. So we've had people from Open Eye Gallery, from Unity Theatre, from Everyman, from Dead Pigeon Gallery. We've had different people come in, as well as myself. And people use those in different ways. Sometimes it's because people want to access the programme and are anxious about coming to a group session because they don't know anybody, or they, group sessions don't work for them. And that's 30 minutes where somebody can really kind of just ask questions, work through, show portfolio, have a chat, have a cup of tea. Or sometimes people have got something very specific. They're working on a funding bid. Some people have come and worked with me to put an Arts Council project grant in. Some people have come and applied for a commission and have asked for some help and support to write a commission for a piece of work. And so that 30 minutes gets you that time to sit down and work out what it is exactly you want. And people have tended to have told me that they found them useful, so hopefully we can continue to offer those and do that. There's 2 dates throughout the autumn, the 23rd of September and the 7th of November, and there's a booking link for those in our links. But also if that doesn't work and you want to book an alternative, I can often move one of those slots to a different date that can work. So get in touch if it doesn't work for you.
Next is the Wiki editathon meetings. So like I mentioned, sometimes people want that one-to-one support. Sometimes people kind of aren't quite sure what they're looking for, but they want to meet up with a group of people and say, what is this? How would I find it? So we're a monthly online meeting where we together add to our wiki, our artist-led wiki, which is where we host lots of information about different resources, groups, different things that artists might find useful and creative people might find useful. But we meet online once a month to add to our wiki. So maybe you're interested in setting up some part of your own indie internet somewhere, and that's something that you're interested in learning how to edit or make your own page on Mirror Haze, which is the platform that we use. Or maybe you just want to come and sit with some other people and help us add to ours, help us organise. Or maybe you've got a question for stuff that you're looking for something quite specific in or around St Helens, and you want to know how to find it. We don't know all the answers, but we will help you Google it together. Often those online meetings take place around lunchtime on the third Wednesday of the month, but our meetings are TBC, and we've got a WhatsApp group, and we also share kind of the dates as and when they happen. Sometimes we also invite guests as well to speak about something specific and themed that we can focus on to add to the wiki as well. So if you've got ideas about a section that you'd really like to see on there, get in touch and we can invite someone with that kind of expertise.
And then we will also have another call out coming soon as well. So we'll be looking to recruit somebody to work as a freelance marketing role. So that will be somebody to help us share all of the activity that we're doing and to communicate what's happening with the programme, with the artists in St Helens, around the spaces that we're working in. So we are just finalising that open call, so that should open at some time in September. If you'd be interested in that freelance role, then stay in touch with our different ways of communicating. And then most of that activity is going to take place at 11 Haydock Street in St Helens, but there may be a couple of things that take place in other spaces if that's more appropriate. And then I thought at the launch session, I also sort of shared with people some of how the Free Art School idea has sort of come together for us as well. So there's a picture of a mind map which I'll drop into this video later rather than share the screen, I think. But through that picture, we sort of have broken down how we learn and develop as artists into sort of 4 different areas, because being an artist, being a creative is often a very sort of like maze to kind of find our way through. We're often sort of some people are doing very different, lots of different disciplines, certain disciplines alongside work and things like that. So we identified that there are 4 different ways that we're going to approach this sort of free art school. So one of them is studios and residencies, so the idea of creating space for people to work in. So, and the 3 things that we offer as part of this program will be the creating space hosts, who will work with the equipment at Haydock Street, the co-working space at Street and a Half as well, which will be just more general access to space to come and co-work. And we also run platform studios, and we're hoping that we are able to open up some more long-term permanent studios at Haydock Street as well in the near future. Then there's collectives. We thought people often learn by being with others, and so we've created those opportunities within the program. So the reviewers collective, who will go out and see things and share things and talk about art that people in St Helens are making and seeing and doing. The unfinished projects, that time to come together and make work together. And then the Wiki page as well, that is a collective of people who are trying to share resources, and that sense of being the importance of the collective and of the peer support being a really important thing within our thinking around the Free Art School. Then there's often training and workshops. As artists, we often identify something somewhere that pins down, something we definitely want to learn. It might be that you need to go and learn about a certain piece of technology or how to use a certain piece of equipment, or you need to go on safeguarding training to go and work in a school, or whatever those different sort of very specific things are that we need to learn. We often go and access those. So we're going to offer those very specific creative development workshops about developing your own skills to be an artist, working in the arts, and also the equipment skills as well that we will be offering in the new year. So they're the 2 things we'll do with that. And then there is like self-directed, the learning by doing, the sort of finding out what you want to do, getting on with it, just making and sharing it with people. So one of the things that we can support that with is the one-to-one support. So you might have a very specific idea that you want to go and you want to do, and you need somebody to talk through that, and that will help you along that road. There's the putting stuff on program. You're like, I want to put this on. I want to be part of other people putting something on. I just want to make it happen. That's where that putting stuff on program will help you learn by doing, by getting on with it and doing. And then the other thing we put on there is, we also run gallery space, sort of pop-up gallery space. There's one at the back of the market in St Helens, and there's also like some picture frames that we've sort of adopted in Thatto Heath. Those spaces where we have sort of our own authorship over things, and we can put artwork up and put projects on. Those are the things that we offer, but also that we want to support with others as well. Do you want to say about where people can find out about things, G?
Yeah, so we're online in a variety of different spaces, and I suppose we can put links somewhere attached to this video. We've collected them in quite a few different places. So there's our link tree, that's also accessible via our Instagram bio. We post to Facebook as well. And there's a WhatsApp channel, well, we'll post updates, but your phone number won't be shared like with us or with anyone else. It's not a group that lots of people can discuss on. You'll just get updates about that from things that are coming up and reminders for events. We've also got like the Padlet, which has got our past resources and the different research bits and bobs that we've done. If you want to find out more about that, including videos that we've made about studios here and that we're connected to. And always, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with the amount of information, we've got those drop-ins on a Monday. Come and visit us and ask us some questions. Or you can email us, DM us on Instagram, or yeah, send a smoke signal through the middle of town and we will find you. And should say as well, which we said last time, I suppose a little bit of if you've also heard all that and gone, this isn't quite for me, or this isn't quite what I'm looking for, or I'm not sure this is quite my group. We might know someone else who it might be right for you to join, or it might be that you might be the perfect person to lead something that connects. So loads of other people who also think that there's something that doesn't quite exist for them within this program, and we're really keen to hear from that. No such thing as a stupid question or suggestion. So do just get in touch if it feels like, there's this amazing space local to me, but they're not quite doing something that suits me. We really, really want to hear about it. Yeah.
So I'm going to finish off just saying as well that this programme has been supported by St Helens Council's Library Service, who've commissioned us, who are artist-led St Helens, and their funding is supported by Arts Council England, thanks to funding from taxpayers, and it's connected with the Arts in Libraries initiative that they run in St Helens Libraries, and that's to help creatives to develop their practice. So yeah, we hope to see you at an event soon. And if you need to ask about any of the applications and things like that, get in touch or drop into one of our open sessions, and we'd love to see you very soon.